Alrighty. Welcome. Yeah, I'm laughing, ladies and gentlemen, to what the tea. Welcome to the tea. Ladies and gentlemen, a cult is going down. There's no question about this, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever this cult is, they are going down. This cult has been creating a lot of illusion. Okay. There's a cult that some of you, your families are connected to, or maybe you're aware, maybe you're not aware. But whatever this cult is, it's going down. Okay. Ooh, there was a lot of voodoo in this cult. This cult was using, look, okay, they were doing, it's not a positive cult. This is some cult are positive, okay? Yeah, someone who's connecting it to a cult, someone who's dealing with a cult and is connected with a cult, they're not going to be finding out that a group of people are connected to a cult. Okay, let's get in this. The energy of the stars in the reverse, because the universe is now finding out about these cults. Not all cults are divinely guided, okay? We had a Five of Pentacles. This cult was a sex cult that used sex to connect to people, using sex to manipulate people. Okay, they could use various disturbing drinks, touching you, because they carry this cult energy, the King of Wands. The King of Wands is in a cult. So someone is higher up in a cult. This is the King of Wands. We don't know who this person is, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarian, but this King of Wands is connected to a cult group organization. I've been seeing this coming up for 2 years now, since 2024, okay? Now, the energy of the Seven of Swords, lies and detective. I told you that this cult is not good. This cult is not a positive cult, okay? There are some cults that is good, okay? There's especially one that is really good. They have the spiritual laws of the universe. But they're the ones that low class people or people who are not of certain bloodlines, these people cannot produce anything. So these people are NUP, okay? The Seven of Pentacles, yes. So I told you it was a sex cult who collaborate in gaining money, okay? This cult is all about they gaining money for themselves, their family. Okay, so they sell their soul to the devil, so they will always have money. And they use witchcraft, lower frequency energy. They are really, this is a disturbing group, okay? Because whoever this cult is definitely a cult, sevens. Whenever energy of seven comes up, seven, deceptiveness is cult. And their cult is based on using sex magic in order to make money, okay? All right, then we have, yes, I told you it was a cult. Whoever this fire sign person is really high in this cult. Okay, this fire sign person could be one of the set people in the cult. Okay, this fire sign person could be very high in the cult. I don't think it's a cult leader. You never see the leaders because they're evil people. But this fire sign person is high in the cult, okay? Yes, I told you, Page of Pentacles, and it's all about money. This cult organization and group is all about money. They kind of rip off other people of their wealth because they were born in poverty. And the reason why they were born in poverty is that they give themselves to the devil when they were crossing over and wanted money. So they come back in this lifetime, wanted money. So whenever you give your soul over to the lower rims because you want to be financially abundant in this lifetime, this is what happened. Yeah, again, the Six of Pentacles. So this cult organization is all about money. So they use people to use sex magic. Um, um, okay, how you can know if someone, okay, okay, I can explain it to you. Tatuage, people look at tatuage as devil. It's not, okay? Tatuage can be a protection, okay? Um, spiritual people, if you look at people who have tatuage and you look at what they tattooage on their body, it is you can know whenever they are controlled by the devil, okay, the lower realms, okay. If someone has a whole lot of tattooage on their body, and it has like crosses and that sort of a thing, they are controlled by the lower realms. Okay, so they have like a lot of Christian things. They're controlled by the lower realms. They use the Christian things in order to make you connect to them because you think that they're divinely protected. No, no, no. Okay. And people with butterfly tattooage, they sell their soul to the devil. So here, the energy of the sun, the truth is now going to be coming out. Okay. So tattooage is one example. Okay, but there's so much. That's why you have to be careful who you connect to, who you let come in your house, that sort of a thing. You have to really, really look at people, okay? But whoever this fire sign man is a high leader. I told you it was a leader. Okay, this fire sign man is high in the counselor of this cult group and organization. Okay, and this fire sign person could be any one of the fire sign people. Okay, we have the page of pentacles, we have the high princess. Yes, so whoever this fire sign man is way up high in a cult group organization. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this cult group is about using sex, is about using people. They have sex with multiple people in order to take the energy of multiple people. Okay, there's a lot of people who are NPN on this planet. That means they have no soul. They're just here to be a number. They have no soul. They have no essence. So they always end up connecting to cult group organization. These people need people around them. They need to be connected to people in order for them to survive. All right, if they do not have people to energy drain, they can't survive. Okay, so whoever this fire sign man is, okay, this fire sign man, if you want to know who it is, look what is the number that is connected to V, what is the number that is connected to her. Okay, now this person have some sort of a secrecy, but this person is really the cult. Okay, this person use voodoo dolls. They use all sorts of they use powder. This person is a sick person. Okay, and if you notice, people who are connected to cult group and organization is people who needs to have the frequency and energy of other people to survive. Okay, so you look at people who constantly wants to be on the telephone with you because they're draining your energy. Okay, all right. The only people that I'm constantly on the telephone with is my family. Okay, because I live in a totally different country from my family. But if you meet someone and this person is constantly calling you, they're energy vampire. Okay, and they're always on the phone, and they call you like under an hour. They're energy vampire. And what they do, narcissistic people. This is how you can know that people are narcissistic. Because in the beginning of a connection with a narcissistic person, they're constantly on the telephone with you because they're constantly drawing your energy. They're constantly listening to you, and they are programming themselves as you. Narcissistic people do not have any identity. They can't identify themselves. They live in the shadows of other people. They do not have an identity. They can't identify themselves. Okay. They don't have any characteristic for themselves. They can't say that I'm the no, because they live off all the frequency and energy. And what they do, they basically listen to who you are, what you're doing, and then they mirror you. Okay. So it is very, very easy to find out about a narcissistic person. You can find out people who are narcissistic. You can have details and energy on people who are narcissistic. Okay, you can get an idea of a narcissistic person, because you are going to be recognizing that whoever these people are, especially narcissistic people, they constantly need your energy. Okay, they constantly need to copy you. All right, so it is very, very easy to find out who is a person. Okay, is this a real person, or is this an NP? NP mean they don't have souls, and what they do, they feed off other people. Okay, so I'm teaching you guys a lot of things to find out about people before you get involved with people. A lot of people tends to sleep around, and people who tends to sleep around, or people who have no uh, energy for themselves, they have to steal from off other people energy. Okay, so be aware, protect yourself from these people, because these people are delusionary. So cult people in a cult groups, you have to look at them, because most cult people, they can't look back. Okay, so they could walk off and you're talking to them, they can't look back. Then you know that someone have given up their blood, their souls. They've made a bond, they can't look back. Okay, these people just sell their souls to the devil. Okay, a lot of people, they always wants to sacrifice. They always want to sacrifice another person. And the more they sacrifice people, is the more power they get, or the more elevated they get in these cult organization. So I can give you an example. Okay. Um, I had a fall in 2023. What is the number for the year 2023? 20 2023, that is 5 and 2, 7. Okay, and in the middle, in the beginning of 2023, in the month of April is the end of the mystical season. So the 31st of March is the mystical season. Okay, and I fell in April. I felt like in April, and all I can remember is 3 steps. And this was at my office. There are 3 steps, and the steps are silver, because they're in a building. It's an office building, and all I remember is 3 steps, and I just see a mustard color. I look at the step, there was 3 steps. Like I was on the 3rd step, and then there's a 2nd step on the last step. And I never remember anything. Okay. When I woke up the next morning, I woke up not in my own bed. And I was in total pain, ladies and gentlemen. Total pain. When I tell you total pain, I was in total pain. When I end up calling the doctors, calling for emergency, and this, I said, take me to the hospital. I need to go to the hospital. I'm in pain. We were driving to the hospital, and every bone, I could feel every bone in my body. When we got to one hospital, they said we can't treat her, because we don't have the machines to see what exactly is going on. When I went to the other hospital and they scanned me, I had 7 broken ribs and a collarbone. 7 again, ladies and gentlemen. At that moment, I recognized this is not normal, because normally I'm a spiritual person, and normally when things happens, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people said, I never see this happen, or why is this, or whatever. No, I start questioning. Okay. And what happened? 7 ribs in the 7th year. So obviously that is a sacrifice. Someone is trying to sacrifice me. So I was like awoken. Okay. This is how they will go after you and try to sacrifice you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And it was someone who wanted to initiate in a group, and for some reason I just think this person is already in a group, because this person, once you start to have sex with groups of people, okay, so you hook up with people and you have sex now, and you exchange frequency and energy, because I live in a country that is sexually what you call that now, open, free, and there's a lot that goes on. And I can know the people who are NEPs, because they always go to these sex clubs and changing of partner. That means you change your partner, somebody has sex with your partner, you go have sex with another person, that sort of a thing. They are always at these sex clubs, okay? These, anything to change partner, to have a interaction with other people, okay, because they themselves is a energy drainer, and their partner is an energy drainer, so there's nothing that they can drain from each other, so they constantly needs to get in contact. They always sport, because in a sports school you get other people energy when people are sporting. That's why I hate sports school. I don't like to touch the machines, because there is so many exchange of energy, okay. When I used to go to the sports school, I have to spray a machine and clean it before I can touch it. Okay, that's why I do not like sport. I don't like anything where I have to exchange frequency and energy with other people, especially groups of people, because that's how you get into connection with these cult group people. So I knew that someone tried to sacrifice me. And that person tried to sacrifice me in order to get into some sort of a cult organization. They don't want that person. Okay? They were using that person. That person was trying to initiate. And that is by sacrificing a person to get into a cult organization. 7 ribs. When I heard 7 ribs was broken, I was like, wake the fuck up. Someone is trying to sacrifice you. Okay? There are, if people just sit down and start to connect with the higher realms of the universe and know the universe law, and especially why you should not sign to be in a cult group, because you give your soul. You are a spiritual person, that you are connected to the source of all things. When you get into these cult organizations, you never comes out, because you give yourself to the lower realms, okay? And a lot of people get caught up in this. I do not like any sort of a group setting. I don't get involved with group setting. I only vote in one country, ever, 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 okay? And I know the reason why. So I don't get in group, sports group or organization or that sort of a thing. No, that's why I'm not on Facebook, because I'm not connected. I don't want you to connect with me, and I'm not going to connect with you, because I don't know who is connected. So you gotta understand, Facebook is like a cult also, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, I constantly say to people, the time you take to create chaos, try and learn the laws of the universe. Try and find out who you are as a person. Try and understand how the universe works. Try and gather understanding, so you can protect yourself, okay? So when they did that, I recognized, oh, I got her. And then I remember the person said to me, do you know who do that? And I said, it's okay. I said, I know, but I'm not telling you. Okay, the same person who asks, because they always want to know if you're onto them. And I was onto this person and just let this person just do. Because my, at the time, ladies and gentlemen, my thing there was to find out where my son is, and whoever this person is connected to an international group of criminals, and that person was aware of where my son is, and I let this person just work and reload everything that he had to do until when I reach a point I said, motherfucker, stop. And all I said was, universe, divine intervention, remove this person out of my house. Okay, so when you understand who you are and the power that you have within you and what is guiding and protecting you, these motherfuckers cult, because they're the scum of the hurt, they can't hurt you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So whoever is listening to this, you got to remember who you are as a person, as a divine soul. Okay, you gotta understand who you are as a divine soul. Okay, when that didn't happen in 2023, in 2024, that same person gave me a drug, and obviously now that is just so fucking obvious that that was what that person wanted to sacrifice me in order to change and to swap my destiny with someone in that cult group. Okay, and in 2024, that was when I recognized, I think, motherfucker. And in the month of September, because it didn't work in the month of July, in the month of September, I think it was the week before the 22nd of September 2024, this person came back again one night, and it's always after 12 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to know if someone is in a cult, they're always coming at your house after 12 o'clock in the night, because they're walking with some nasty Jezebel spirit, frequency, and energy. Okay, and you can know these people when they're coming to your house, because they will pop in your mind, and then all of a sudden they will call and say, oh, I'm just on your street. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, learn how to protect yourself. And when that person came back in September 2024 to try and do the last sacrifice to see, because he wanted to sacrifice me in order to get some sort of an initiative in a cult organization. And I remember that person went to his car and said, oh, I have something, and came back with something and put it in my hands. And my spirit guide said, get up, stand up, go to the kitchen, throw that thing, run the water, drink a glass of water, and come back and sit on this table. Because my spirit guides is like, this motherfucking devil is not giving up. So, okay, we are going to be teaching him. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I did, and save myself from these people sacrificing me. So ladies and gentlemen, there are people who you work with, who you connect with. They are in a cult group, an organization, especially men that sleep around and have sex. And most of these men that in cult group sleep around and have sex, they are download and bisexual. Okay, and what they do is that they will parade round with a woman, parade round with multiple women, but they are download. Okay, they are download. They don't want to people to know their sexual preference, and the only person that will know their sexual preference is the person that they connect to, that they live with, that they use that person to pull in other people. So you see couples that said, oh, we have an open marriage, or we have an open relationship, or couples that go with other couples and role partner, because they're lower entities. Okay, they have to feed off other people energies. So wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, wake up. There is just so much out there that a lot of people are not aware of. And you start seeing someone sleeping with someone is coming into your house, and you start to recognize that things has been changing for you as a person. This person is connected to some cult of a cult. You can know most people There is the difference between people in cult and a gigolo. Normal gigolos, they basically, if they have tatuage, they have nice tatuage, and they are nicely presented. People in cult groups that feed off people through sex, because a lot of people feed off people through sex, because when you have sexually intercourses and you come, you let off that energy, okay? And that is what they frequency they heal off. And when you recognize that someone is looking old, like you haven't seen someone in a certain time and they're looking old and old, is because they have no one else to feed off of, okay? Because you can't suck, you know, it's like a vampire. They can't suck from the same person all the time. If it's a young, nice person, they always have to look for a different person to suck from. And if you people think that vampire, werewolf, and that sort of a thing doesn't exist, wake the fuck up. It does exist. Okay? So I will say to you, because whoever this person is an initiated, but whoever this person is looking for an empathy person or someone who is a divine person, okay? Because they were looking for to initiate themselves to an Olga position. So be aware, ladies and gentlemen. Stop sleeping around. Ladies, stop giving away the cat to these entities, okay? And especially do not exchange body fluid with another person that you don't know, okay? The only people that should be exchanging body fluid is people who are married or live together, and not even that, because you never know who your partner is sleeping with. I hope that this helped. Namaste.